Ready when you are.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna hit go live now then. I think I have clicked it properly. Yes, there we go. Hello, everyone.
It feels
Welcome
the same.
back to the show. What's that?
It feels the same. How do we know?
How do we know what?
That we are live streaming.
Because it says we're live, I guess. I don't know.
Please confirm, audience.
Is it not saying so?
I just don't know how I would feel if I was live. Is there a tingling feeling?
Oh, yes. I don't know. Maybe.
Huh. I'm new to this, you see.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I just want to welcome everybody back to the show. My name is Stuart Foley. It's very nice to meet you guys. And I also have a co-host here. That's him.
Hello, everyone. I'm talking about Star Trek with you today on this live stream content on YouTube. Thank you for being here with myself and Mr. Foley.
And us, yeah.
Who's up there, I believe.
Yeah. So I guess we're here to talk about some kind of plan, what's really happening in Picard Season 3.
Well, my gut reaction, Mr. Foley, is that nothing is happening. That it's very straightforward, and that that we should actually do something else and not talk about this. That the topic might be too boring and not have to talk about.
So you feel like the Changeling thing might be a red herring completely?
I mean, we know that in James T. Kirk's films there was another metamorphous being. It could be that rather than
a Kamaloid. Yes.
Rather than a changeling. They could be not even there.
But it can be here. Is an ad. There we go. All right. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Olivia May Julius throws in $5. They are after our unlimited supply of Samuel. Samuel, even changelings who hate solids, love Samuel. So he's not really a solid. He's kind of like soft and smooshy. So
all the grandmas do that.
And Fleet Pass is back. It's here after a day of traveling. Good to see you, sir. $2. Says I actually made it for a live. Shocker. What?
It's good to see your Voyager thumbnail probe pew. It's always so recognizable to me because I know that one shot quite well.
Yes.
I'm going to start a poll though.
You forgot my super chat. Oh, I did. Ozzy, $2. It's Monday. My new phaser is ready. Okay, cool. The phasers and things came in on Tuesday. Anyway, guys, nothing weird to see here, but you guys should hit like. Just saying. We have 55 of you here, 28 people. Or no, that's the other way around. 55 people here, 28 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 50 likes. That's what I meant to say. So do that thing. Also, don't forget to super chat in with your thoughts, theories, observations, anything that you want to talk about. We do have to read them all on the air, so please do so.
It's legally binding.
Yes, and we have. Saying, you can clip that. And also, by all means, consider checking out the links down below to our Teespring and TeePublic. We got some cool Trekyards merchandise, and join the channel. There's a join button. You can become part of our fleet. And one big happy fleet.
Speaking of fleet,
you're gonna play it?
I am going to when my Windows Explorer tells me I've got files on my computer. There we go.
That'd be helpful.
It would be.
Yeah.
So this, I'm gonna play it.
You can also head on
now.
You can also head on over to Patreon. The same tiers apply over there if you want to help us over there, or on the YouTube channel. Just click the join button and become part of the fleet. Lots of beautiful ships. You get your name in lights, more or less, kind of on a plaque, but anyway. And you get assigned to the ship. Plus, you get to join the Discord server, the official Trekyards Fleet Discord server, and hang out with your crew and with us over there. So consider doing so.
Ain't they fancy?
And if you become a captain, I'm just saying, if you start at the captain rank, you automatically get your own ship in that lineup of ships And admirals get a hero ship, so it's worth considering.
You literally force us to go back to the drawing board and make a new animation every single damn time. Literally. Oh no, the shame. And the fact is, if we get 10 more ships, well, there'll be 10 more ships, and it'll be really varied and diverse, and you might see a ship you love. It's pretty cool. And we'll start showing.
Yes. Vad Wanu said I would love to see the Captain's Phaser collection. I showed it off before in some, tours. I need to do a new one though, so you'll get to see it at some point, I'm sure. Also, what was I going to say? Like, yeah, I had something. Oh, Vad Wanu said, man, I got reassigned again. Me too. See, that's the thing. We're trying to sort it out so people don't get reassigned every time. But if a new ship gets added, we need to pull people from other ships to the new ship. And because Olivia became captain and got the Indianapolis last time, we needed to pull people off of the other ships to fill that gap. So unfortunately, that does happen if a new ship is added. If there's no new ships, just new members, so no new captains or no new admirals or anything, then you will not be reassigned. But yeah, sorry, that's just the way it works. Adrian Margerson puts in £5. Changelings bonded with solids to control them and further their goal. Side effect, the organic look when liquid. Love that. I should have saved that and read that when Samuel gets back, so I will read that again. But thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Now there are 75 of you here. That is awesome, guys. 39 likes. Let's get those likes up to 50.
I'm back.
And Adrian throws in £5 and says changelings bonded with solids to control them and further their goals. Side effects, the new organic look when liquid. Interesting. Considering they left the Great Lake, they have to do something. Bonding with solids to control them. I kind of like that in a way.
My issue with that is that it's like the Terminators, right? T-800, you get it. Big hulking machine. You can go punishment, but you can actually kill it. T-1000, he can be a puddle. So much more capable, but limited in physical strength. T-X, it's a physical body that can become other physical bodies, but it can also be broken like a T-800, so you lose the entire ability to blend into any surroundings. So you've lost a giant portion of the ability set. Like, they can't do the, body swap thing there's a lot of things they just can't do. So if a changeling is infused with a human, they can no longer change in the full way, which makes it a lot less useful. That's what I was getting to. It's just you're losing a lot of what makes you an interesting ability set, just for the sake of having a humanoid that can change shape. It seems too much of a power loss.
Yeah. And it's funny because we haven't seen there again. It's like lash out with like just the tentacles, or it turned into a bird or anything. It's always a person. So it feels like they're kind of limited right now. You don't know if they're hobbled or not. It could be the case. Terry said, "Just keep watching." When somebody asked why the effect is different, implying it will get explained. So, yeah.
Well, I think we better start off with a a thing to start off with, right? Do we actually believe? I guess two-pronged question. Do we actually believe the Vadic's crew are changelings? Is she a changeling? Are they changelings? Because if they aren't, it will redefine where we jump back and look at the start of the season. Are they actually changelings? And do we believe him fully?
Believe Terry?
Yeah.
I believe Vadic may be a changeling, possibly. I don't believe her crew is necessarily.
That's the side question.
Yeah, originally I thought she might not be, and like I said, just her arm or her hand was cut off by the changeling, grafted on like this organic one that is a shapeshifter that kind of controls her. Because when she cuts the hand off, her demeanor changes so much. She becomes kind of cowardly and whatever. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. I thought that would have been cooler than just her being a changeling, but if he says they are, we'll go with that for now. But I have a feeling there's something else going on. She might be a changeling, but not an actual changeling. She might be a converted changeling or a hybrid or some sort. So.
Yeah, I'm because as Pio pointed out, as you pointed out, they do die in a smoky, and Beverly feels the need to shoot them with severe vitriol. It isn't just an organic, and given that, because you assume everything for the most part is a connective tissue, sort of linking stream of consciousness by the writers. So at the start, the rifle Beverly uses feels like a weird overcompensation, and a phaser might do, but we saw Seven having to shoot the Changeling 4 or 5 times, it still got away. So therefore you go to a higher level weapon, rifle, and if you overload the power cell so it only gets 7 shots, but they actually will kill in 1, that makes more sense now if there are Changelings for that very reason. But then also 7 shoots with 1 and takes it out. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Well, the purpose of this live was to talk about their plan and how it involves Jack. But I think it's going to get into the whole what are the new changelings exactly as well. So, a good discussion, hopefully. But Lexstrom throws in $5. My crazy idea is both Vadic and Jack are some kind of changeling 2.0, with Jack being a sleeper agent and valuable. But I like the idea of no big bad. So with Jack being a sleeper agent, you mean like the real Jack was abducted and maybe a prisoner on the Shrike or something, and he was replaced with a changeling? Because I don't get that vibe at all. There's weird stuff going on with Jack, obviously, with the red door and stuff, but yeah, I don't know about that. Don't know what to say.
Sorry, which con was that?
Lexstrom's super chat.
But again, Changeling 2.0, you can only make them worse. You know, as a ability set. I don't know.
Not really, because it's been pointed out already by Shaw that they can just on site become somebody, get their speech patterns and everything, but they don't have their memories. But if this new organic type is like burrows into you and turns your body organic, like liquefied almost, but gets your memories, so that you can't call them out for memory things. That would be kind of neat and a step up in
yes,
abilities.
But a big part of Changelings is that you have to find the first guy first. I get, obviously, yeah, that's a certain situation, but I mean, they've got this absolutely fine line of, if we have Jack or Crusher or Riker or Beverly be not themselves, every single scene we've seen them in gets basically wiped slate clean.
Yeah,
they're not real, right?
Yeah.
So later on, yes, you can have a replacement scene, and I know that Terry had said that the reason they didn't go with the brain bugs, he did consider it, is because the brain bugs kill the hosts, which we both worked out is not correct. They don't actually every time, but he wanted a scene, the idea of that espionage factor of 2 in one place, to play that trope. Brain bug, you get the one, and if you kill them, you kill them. But now you can shoot and kill Beverly. Oh wait, it's Changeling, as I always saw with LaForge. So that's kind of the reason. So you got to imagine we're going to get sequences later on where there's 2 of our heroes been thrown in.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Who are you? Which one are you? Etc.
Yeah. Well, the cynical optimist says, calling it, Jack was some kind of experiment important to the Changelings, and he is what was stolen from Daystrom. Remember, Beverly said not to trust anyone, including herself, I guess. What if Jack is some kind of experiment to have the Changelings be able to link with solids, thus hijacking their memories? There might be something like that. He's important to them for some reason, whether it's because of an experiment or whatever. I don't think he's the experiment that was stolen from Daystrom, though. I think that's something else. We're fairly sure that's lore. But again, could be wrong on that as well.
Well, I mean, do we want something that was revealed in a trailer? Do you have to look and notice that was revealed?
I don't know. I want the reveal to be. It'd be cool if it wasn't lore. It could be something completely different. But
so spoiler warning for those that haven't seen a new trailer that came out.
For the next episode?
No, it was like their it was like a TV spot which showed old and new footage. So it was like an everything trailer. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Well, someone tagged us both in, and it was funny because it showed that in an original trailer, which we called out, this is probably that, they removed something from the scene, but actually that thing is in the scene, and it's like, oh, well that's that then. Which...
Spoilers. Now tell me. Now I'm interested.
Okay.
Everybody, if you don't want spoilers, look away until I wave at the screen.
So it does change our conversation going forward a little bit on this. So in a sequence, we see Worf and Riker and Raffi walking to a room, a circular room with a tech in it that we said, oh, looks like a robotics lab.
Yeah.
For making a new B4, etc. Well, it turns out they digitally removed Lore's face from it. You can see his body and his face.
Oh yes, I saw that. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I know you were tagged in it. So yeah, which is good of them to do that. It's a fun and easy thing to do. So yeah, so now we know confirmed that Lore is not the big bad. He's been disassembled. They turn him on as part of the storyline, which changes the entire. That changes how we're going to speak about this stuff. So useful, but also he's not the big bad. Now we know.
What do you think? It's a red herring then when the portal device gets detached from the Shrike and it comes towards the screen? It says Daystrom Institute for Robotics. I think the robotics thing is another like, hey, it's Lore that's the other big bad weapon, but it's not at all.
Well, that's what I think they're telling us by the trailer, which I like. The fact that it felt obvious that was the case, but that's another misdirection. It just means, what the hell could it be? We don't know. How would we know? So I actually like that we think we knew what it was. Because that's why they carefully said, oh, they took the device. Well, the device can't be Lore. You wouldn't frame him as a device, but you can refer to Lore as a weapon. Just about.
Yeah.
So I liked that was intentional because I like these people are intentionally building the season versus other seasons which were finished.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Damn.
All right. Well, Olivia throws in $5. All my crew has to hit the like button. Fleet Paw, that means you. Like, or else you're cleaning the latrines after taco night. Yeah, I don't know if you knew, but Fleet Paw is like a commander on Olivia's ship, which I thought was quite funny because those two are always going back and forth in the chats with each other. So looks like Fleet Paw stepped his membership to a captain to get off the ship. Matthew DeFritas throws in $5. Thanks for upping the member perks. Makes this place feel like a real fan community. And Samuel's CGI is insanely good. Well, thank you, Matthew. I'm glad you're. By the way, Matthew has been posted to the USS Titan, and he tweeted about it. He tweeted about it, tagging Todd Stashwick and Joey Ryan. So hopefully it gets a little bit of notice.
Because no one else has Titan renders, Stuart. That's us.
Yeah. So yeah, who's the captain of the Titan now in our fleet?
It's
it is the
Brian Donaldson.
Brian Donaldson, yes. Very nice, very nice. So Shaw might be upset about that, but
well, he was injured by another mission. He's always injured,
Lexstrom throws in $10.
Oh, thanks much.
Yeah, somewhere out there is the real Jack. Changeling Jack is so deep in cover that he doesn't know he's Changeling. A sleeper agent. His visions are the Great Link.
Ooh.
That's really interesting. That's really fascinating. Oh, okay, I'm liking that. And that could be the trade-off if they want the memories of the person, that they kind of lose their knowledge of the Great Link.
Sleeper agent or nothing.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Wow.
Ooh.
Is he going to turn on them at some point then at a critical time and oh, that's a fantastic idea.
I mean, a tree could be a link. I mean, I can certainly see that connecting. We know Vadic, who is a changeling, does have scarring on a face that you could argue are tree branches. Somewhere else there was another connective tissue with now that would be easier to accept if then we find Jack and we say, oh, it was taken a week ago, so why didn't experience the stuff now? Or his memories were actually still real, so... But then you still go back to zero with Jack and Picard, which is a shame. Picard will know Jack, essentially, but that relationship will go back to zero. It works better if for episode 5 he's a changeling. Once they've had this initial scene, that works better.
I like the sleeper agent. spin on that. It's quite interesting, actually.
That's a future plot point, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's only one episode. Maybe he starts out in a scene, he gets hit by something, appears later on, and then, what?
Scotchy Scotch says, very cool theory, but feels like a little too Cylon Final 5. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, hey, maybe every one of our leads are changelings.
No.
Maybe Picard's a synth organic changeling.
Maybe he was replaced with a changeling before he died, so therefore, I guess this is like
Season 1 retcon. Oh, that'd be bold.
the changeling version.
Maybe his death in Season 1 was actually his changeling body failing. Oh my goodness. Well, that'd be bold. He just phones up Michael Chabon? Who's the...
Yeah, I think so.
Michael! I'm undoing Picard's death. What? And Kirk's. The bridge was a changeling. What? Everyone's a changeling!
Oh my goodness. All right, well, that's interesting. Hezraz, a member for 31 months at the rank of ensign. Maybe Jack has a Borg connection the changelings want. Yeah, a lot of people have been making that analogy too, that Picard was once part Borg, therefore maybe something transferred over in the DNA. I don't buy that for a minute, but it's an interesting idea. Just question, is the real plan thumbnail supposed to be that high in the frame, or
because the super chat thank comes down lower.
Oh,
so
okay.
Give it space, yeah.
Cool. So some kind of Borg connection. I don't think they should be bringing the Borg in, especially with only like 5 episodes left.
I mean, you say that we've had a Wolf 359 hardcore connection, so there is now a Borg connection.
That's true. That's true.
Because if it's that sort of connection, if it's a case of, because literally if the Borg show up, no, but if Jack says, "Oh, I found a sphere 2 years ago, Beverly, and I found an intermix node, and the node," like that would be something of the ilk that would work.
Joe Brown though, $2.
Thank
Not lore. B4 gone rogue.
Well, we've talked about B4 that all they have to do to bring back B4 is say Geordi lied.
Talk about B4 before.
Yeah. Because Geordi lied, or someone lied to Geordi about B4's fate. That's all it was. It was such a swept under the rug sort of situation. Oh, his brain pathways couldn't take it. End of scene. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
It feels very cover up to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go,
parts in the drawer could be like replicated parts.
Yeah.
It could be.
Because they're corrupted. You replicate corrupted parts. There you go. Boom. So yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, double twist. Maybe Lore is the real villain, and the weapon he stole was B4 because he needed other some components to do something. Because B4 is a weapon in Nemesis, ostensibly.
That's true. Maybe he's B4, but infected with Moriarty because Moriarty's dangerous. So Lore's like using it as a weapon.
So Brent Spiner is playing Lore, and B4 being played by Moriarty. Right.
Yes, yeah. With a little bit of Holmes in there because he played Holmes.
Right, Brent. Third season. Ugh. Beard or no beard? No beard. Oh, okay. Android. Ugh. Android twice. Android twice. And Moriarty.
And aged, not de-aged. Exactly like.
Oh yeah. Wrinkles. Get more wrinkles. I'm gonna put you in the hat, the Moriarty hat. Oh yes.
Jack has to be Jack if he had his heart restarted. So we obviously analyzed him in the medbay. Yeah, but analyzing people in Star Trek doesn't mean anything half the time, because there's always a new way of fooling the censors. And if the organicness of this new shapeshifter form is any indication that something else is going on, could be that they actually mimic everything about the person, even down to the blood, maybe. So the blood testing. I'm just trying to find out.
Well, I mean, the simplest comparison is how many times did Changeling Bashir or Changing Gowron beam?
Or Martog, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, as soon as they were beamed, you would know they weren't really them. Which means they could fool a bio monitor and a pattern buffer. If they can fool that, I have no doubt they can fool a scan. Because that, you know, it's proliferation of technology. As soon as you have something, you have to fight against it.
Yeah.
So, of course, they would, you know, yeah.
Well, Wade Enyart throws in $5. So thank you so much, Wade.
Thank you.
The answer to all the questions is simple. It's Moriarty's fault. LOL. Appreciate all you two gentlemen do. Thank you. Thank you for calling us gentlemen. Appreciate that. Only you knew.
About our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. Did I save it? I think I saved it. They didn't.
It was good.
And the ad's playing
good, yeah.
now, so they can't hear us. That went well.
Yeah.
And we're back. Yes. So, sure. Talk about the poll for a second. Like, how's that going?
Yeah, I haven't even read the poll yet. God damn. All right. The poll says, "Is the big bad a changeling or something else?" The choices are changeling or something not a changeling. So, go votes. We're at 120 votes, which is pretty good, but we want more. And 143 of you are here, which is amazing, guys. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button. We have 72 likes. I'd like to get up to 100. I think that should be easily accomplishable by now with 138 of you here. So hit that like button. If you're one of the people who just joined us, hasn't done that yet. Scotchy Scotch. I love that name. Throws in $5. I got the impression that Jack understood when Picard realized it was him at the bar in the past. What did y'all think? Oh, I totally got that as well. There's quite interesting acting. Picard came to the realization that the reason Jack didn't want to come meet him was because of what he said in the bar, and he feels like an ass for it because, yeah, I totally got that feeling. That was a great way to end that episode.
It was a gut punch.
And again, it made everybody still likable, even though they made these decisions.
That's the bar that they so poorly achieved in seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You didn't like Picard for a lot of it. You didn't like Seven. For most of it.
But this one, you understand everybody's motivations. You understand Beverly's for why she didn't tell him. You understand Jack's for why he didn't go see his dad. You understand Picard's for why he said Starfleet's the only family I've ever needed. Like, it was so well done. Because you're set up to kind of like, I can never forgive Beverly for not telling him about Jack, right? No, it actually makes sense with the way it happened. It's like, all right, cool. So it's very well written and very well done. So kudos to Matalas and everybody that wrote these ones because they're really good. You think there will ever be a Star Trek cartoon character in live action Star Trek? Yes, it's going to be in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. Mariner and Boimler show up. Have you seen the animated version of Pike yet,
Yeah.
Samuel? Yeah, you did? Okay. At least his hair. That's kind of cool.
They're a fun group.
Yeah.
But and it's kind of nice they're laying low, the Strange New Worlds team. Let them just finish off season 2 in peace. And then, see what happens.
I would like to know when it's coming out, though. Like, I hope they announce it soon.
Well, yeah, I feel like it'll be after this season, just because every episode has hype for Picard. It would pull a lot of attention away from any episode, and we know stuff that's coming soon that will be attention grabbing. It'd be weird to trailer it, and then you can imagine the last 3 will be huge, the last 2 will be even bigger, the last 1 will be even giant. So I think it'll be after the end of the season. They'll announce it in like 6 weeks' time. Do you have on a break?
That'd be alright, yeah.
Because now we've got no Picard, no Discovery, so there's no possibility of / next.
Yeah, I've also heard too that they filmed season 5 of Discovery already, then found out they were canceled, so they're bringing everybody back to film an epilogue or something. So that's kind of sweet that they're doing that.
Yeah, they left it semi-open ended, and now they can close that open end.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, the sets get trashed very quickly after you get cancelled because it costs them hundreds of thousands to just have the space open, and other things can't be filmed. Once you lose the sets, it's like, well, okay. That's what we needed to film anything. Then suddenly every scene becomes tens of thousands of dollars versus just, right, Tuesday we'll meet there. Okay. You're a camera guy? Yeah. Yes. Okay. We're filming.
And Mino Other points out, don't forget, it's not all changelings, just a small sect. Yeah, it's just a small breakaway faction of them. So,
well, exactly. It's. And I said before, if you want to go direct parallel, they're a radical faction who are going to any means necessary to achieve their goals. Now, that's also what the other changelings did, but they still, I bet if you dissected their appearances, they'd have some moral code, like some level of it. If these guys are removing that entirely, then they can do whatever they want. We know that they said they don't kill changelings. That obviously got changed when the accidental kill. And I believe there's a deliberate kill after Odo accidentally kills one. Like once the cat's out of the bag, isn't that they deliberately kill one?
Changeling kill another changeling.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I know that they said we wouldn't normally remove your powers because we can't kill you. This is worse than death. Have fun. Only because you killed the changeling before we think we could do this to you. Because if that's now their rule, like changelings can now punish each other fully. Actually, wouldn't it be in... Okay, what if... Guys, pay attention. This is an interesting theory. What if there was one changeling that left the link? Just one. Pissed off everything, left, great. And they found a way to split themselves, split their goo, and dilute it, and be able to make more of them, and impart, basically make babies, but with their own matter. They then became less changeling powered, because of course they were lesser, they were being diluted. But they want to make an army, whatever, of changelings. And then Vadic is the equivalent of Vorta, who has more changeling powers because she's more true changeling. The lower class, the bird people, they're barely changeling at all, just enough, and they can't hold their form, hence the full suits, but they are still a changeling race. And so it's all one faction, just one crazy guy's ability, but going to this insane level, and now they're obviously been super pushed away from the Great Link because they're barely recognisable anymore, and they've gone crazy by the dilution. What do you think?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. And I could explain, well, even if he has to separate himself, it could be that a few of them, like Vadic, are kind of, well, not even Vadic, but maybe it gets to the point where it's too diluted, so you actually have to attach yourself to another being to be able to kind of control them. And I could explain the communication thing if she is not in fact a full changeling.
Sure.
So you still need an outside influence, but
because if you did that would explain why they look different, because they've been diluted by organic matter, because it's the only thing that can stabilize them. And then you get the disparative ranks of purity. And then that's why changes say, screw you guys, if you guys die, doesn't matter, I'll make more. Because he's no longer diluting himself, he's diluting all the diluted parts of himself. So he's not thinking, he doesn't care. As long as they can hold their shape, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually.
Because it's sadistic. It's horrible. It's terrible. Which is why it's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd write that. I feel like that's a dark thing, and it does just bring it down to one radical, which I love. That it's an ego-driven thing. It's not even that I hate all solid. It's just this one changeling didn't accept it, and through their research went a bit mad, etc. It could be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. No, that's really fantastic. Actually, I'm just trying to find a good picture of Vadic actually in all these thumbnails because not thumbnails, but the screenshots. Because I noticed we've talked about her hair quite a bit since we first saw her. I wonder if she doesn't have the ability to actually make the hair look proper, much like Odo couldn't really make a perfect face, because either the organic or the changing is diseased. Maybe it's a Section 31 disease running its course, or they've adapted to it somewhat, but it's changed them a lot. That could be a thing as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love that Terry said just watch, keep watching.
Oh yeah.
For the, it's not new effects. That's not the reason.
Well, it's a pinch of salt. There's some new, but there's a reason for it, and it's up to you if you'll accept it or not.
Yeah.
But as long as we get a reason, it can be not a great reason as long as it's been thought out. You know, there's always, and I'm sure a lot of these different things, Terry has been crossing his fingers the fans will accept it. Like if the Beverly and Picard scene did not play well for whatever reason, and now everyone hates Beverly, you not can't necessarily predict it. That would have been a real shame, but everyone resonated with it, so good. But speaking of resonating with, Stuart, I'm thrilled to report we have a special guest booked, confirmed, set for Wednesday. Stuart, we have the one, the only, the Irish voice you all know, Mr. Dave Cullen from the Dave Cullen Show will be joining us on Wednesday. That is Wednesday, the day before the new episode. He'll be with us at our this time, because the time zones have shifted, so it'll be the same as our normal if you're in America, and the 1 hour early ever else, because obviously there's a line and shifts. And we'll be discussing, because he's seen more than 4 episodes, so he does know what happens, which makes an interview and a chat with him a bit funny and dicey.
Risky, yeah.
Yeah. But he loves doing discussions, and we'll be chatting about the first 4 and retrospecting them, because clearly it's like a first arc, right?
Yeah.
Seeing if they worked, looking back. He obviously saw them weeks ago to see how he felt when he watched them without the microcosm of the community, and how he's thought as going through them. So yeah, Wednesday, special guest. And yes, even on Skype, Stuart, we have no worries. Skype is all good.
Good man.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, and we won't. There won't be spoilers. Don't worry. We'll make sure that that's a thing. Yeah, it should be interesting to get his take on things, because I like the way he puts things. Cosmos like Dave Cullen, please no. Why not? I've watched Dave Cullen for years. I most of the time don't really agree with him, but it'd be interesting to get his take on things, considering that he's very on board with this one, and the fact that he knows how it plays out and what the next 2 parts of the story are about is a little bit risky for us to talk to him, but I'm sure he won't spoil anything, guys. Don't worry. Let's see, 90 likes. We're still not at our 100 likes yet. 144 of you here, though, so please hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get another 10 likes to get up there, and keep the super chats coming. Anything you guys can think of that the conspiracy Dominion changelings might be after, let us know. Do they want revenge on somebody's, do they want to get Deep Space Nine? Who knows? I want to hear your thoughts, guys, and I want to discuss it, because that's what this is all about.
Because that's the thing, there's been gentle reveals each week, but we guessed from the trailer the kid could have been Beverly and Picard's son, so we get... No, I don't think anyone gets Changeling, necessarily, except we said it would be too easy if they could have been villains. Like, half it's been good reveals, half it's been... We kind of guessed that. So, is anything we've learned real? Because now we know that Vadic would have gone after Jack, it's just the weapon, which does redefine it is about Jack specifically, so that does help again, because we kind of worked out, is there a deeper plan?
I think there is a deeper plan. I think it's reflected in the next episode, because we've seen some stills from it, and we also know the name of it. It's called Imposters. There's another Federation starship. So it could be a starship that's full of changelings, like Starfleet officers, and that would explain the Starfleet versus Starfleet scenes we've seen, which include Jack, I believe, shooting at other Starfleet officers. That one lady, like point blank, shoots her. So I wouldn't be surprised if we run into a ship full of changelings, or at least a majority of changelings on that ship in the next episode. That could be part of their bigger plan. They could have infiltrated much of the Federation, or at least Starfleet, and could have like half of a ship's complement of every ship on the, be changelings, and going to have some massive attack on Frontier Day or something like that, just to kind of catch the Federation with their pants down. Just the title Imposters got me thinking, and then I saw some happen ish in the next episode, and like, oh, okay, well, this is on a collision course for something. So
I mean, Imposters is obviously a giant hint.
And yes, whether you can speculate on episode 5 without spoilers. Yes.
Yeah.
We do. We like speculating. We don't have any spoilers.
No.
So.
Well, not for episode 5.
Yeah, and not plot-wise, even.
Yeah. For us, they're really important spoilers, but not plot-wise. Interesting. Could the other ship be taken over by changelings? I mean, that would... I was wondering why they would randomly have found them. Now, I've not seen anything or read anything about the episodes. I'm working blind here. Just what you've told me there.
Yeah.
So, I like the idea that, yeah, Vadic... I would assume that the creature who talked to Vadic would have said, well, she didn't come back to me in the last 10 hours. I think she's dead. Okay, plan B. Right, straight into plan B. You know exactly where they are. You know exactly the route they'd take because they'd go back to Earth. So you know exactly the vibe of space they're going to be in. You say, yes, we first send our... Well, because the first ship was there to take on the Helios. Now you need someone to take on the Titan, very specifically. So yeah, they'll send one of their Federation changing-controlled ships. That makes sense. Because then it's a different play, isn't it? Rather than going guns blazing. Because all you need is the captain to be a changeling. That's all you actually need. The crew could be oblivious. And then, you know, if the crew really trusts the changeling, they pick a ship who they know the crew is diehard for who they thought the captain was. If the captain says, arrest that crew, they're all changelings, shoot on sight, a lot of crews will do it. Well, like, you know, even if it's Picard and Riker and Worf. So it might not even be Starfleet. It might just be a changeling has sort of sowed the seeds of incredible doubt and forced situation. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's fantastic. Yes, because crews are orchestrated and designed to follow the orders of the captain. So you place the captain, you're pretty much good like 80% of the time, until people start figuring out shit ain't right. But and Adrian Spear makes a good point. When Vadic talks to the slime dough man, he says not following the Titan would also be suicide. Maybe that is a deeper meaning, like the race needs him or they won't survive, or it just being a threat. I took it as a threat to Vadic, like if you don't follow him, I'm going to kill you. So regardless, it's suicide, whatever you do. But I like that you're putting it on meaning their race. Like they don't want to or they can't ask for help. So they're trying to do what they need to do to survive at all costs, which makes it very dangerous. And as somebody else pointed out, Joe Brown says, didn't the floaty hand face refer to Jack as the asset? I believe so, yes. But are they referring to Jack or what Jack holds? Does that Jack have something on him, or does he have something buried in his DNA that they need? Or is he literally the asset? I don't know what they're referring to specifically with that. But yes, he did refer to them as the asset.
Yeah, it could be a bio chip in his body. Could be DNA, as you said. Yeah, I mean, you know, the joke about the Men in Black films. You know, the asset isn't the cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing on the ring on the chain. Mm-hmm. Hey, Bill. Because I just feel like this is the sort of show that there will be some kind of giant twist within the giant twist. That it will make the early episodes feel far more poignant. It feels like that sort of show, right?
Cosmo asks, what was the precious cargo that Vadic had to leave behind? That was the portal weapon. Which she had to detach from her ship. Was it using gravimetrics? She was going into a gravity well, so it was dangerous, I guess.
Yeah.
So she had to dump that. Maybe Jack has something DNA-wise. Maybe because Locutus existed, the DNA did something different. I'm going to go on a limb and say that's not the case.
Well, Borgs don't have babies. Like, innately, they grab babies and then mature them. But what did the... Why would nanoprobes make your DNA different? It would just mess up your current DNA. You know, it forces things to happen. It doesn't change the DNA, I wouldn't think.
Do you think the Changeling Emperor is going to say, "Look, execute over 66"? No, I don't.
Who's to say? I'm just wondering if we're going to see a second Vadic somewhere. I know I've said that to you before, but I like that idea. Well, especially if we know that the Titan gets invaded by Vadic, but what if our Vadic dies on the Shrike in the Nebula, and we see a second Vadic and she's all fresh-faced and let's go, and they're like, "But you died in the Nebula, we assumed." "I've never been to that Nebula. That is my sister. Vadic. What's your name?" "Vadic." Right. Okay. But yeah, played exactly like that, you know. Because I like if she's the equivalent to the new Wayung, just from a changing perspective. I like the idea that they picked a certain shape that they believe is intimidating and reflects something, or a mockery of the female changeling. You know, we hate that bitch. Let's make this person to be something, a reference to that. Because it'd be kind of cool. You know, they'd be attacked by 3 different Vadics at different points. And that would also double down on the "you can die, we don't care," because you're just representing a form of, you know, she's choosing the form of a destroyer, you know.
Oh, nice reference.
Yeah, exactly. Wenlock. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. Thank you so much, Mark. My guess is that there's a baby changeling in his brain, kind of how that baby was absorbed into Odo, which turned Odo back into a changeling.
I
don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
It's a different workaround. I certainly like, now you're putting a visual in my head, that there's a flashback where Jack finds a changeling on an alien planet. It's been abused by the people. He grabs it, tries to save it. It dies, infuses with him, messes up his brain a little bit, gives him visions. That's not super weird. And maybe we've said this before, but if they're kind of corrupted, this new changeling batch, if their genetic modification has messed up their abilities to be who they are, a la Vadic having to cut her arm off, which is not what you have to do if she's a changeling fully, then maybe getting any DNA from an original changeling, an OG 9,000 years ago one, will help stabilize them. And they can't go back to the Gamma Quadrant, they can't get through the wormhole. Could be something there?
Could be. Me no other. Maybe the baddie is the changeling boyfriend Odo met. You mean Laws? Yes, the 100 others that he was searching for. That's been speculated quite a bit. Could be the case. Could be that Odo infected him with the Section 31 disease before he left, and he never got the cure because he didn't rejoin the Great Link. Either that or he just died in the cold of space somewhere as a result of it. But Adrian says, I think there will be some more backstory to Vadic. Maybe because she is infected and controlled by a changeling makes her suffer. And maybe the changeling searched for Jack because he's stable plus unaware. Huh. Unaware that he's infected, yes.
It's not. There's a certain logic there.
Yes, absolutely. So many great theories and ideas coming up that I haven't even really considered before.
It just depends if there's a giant plan or a tiny plan. Because as they say in DS9, I keep reiterating, it takes less than a handful, to cause untold chaos.
Yeah.
There was one changeling aboard the Titan, and with a bit less plot armor running against him, could have effed up the entire ship, you know? If only
But
Janeway
I
had.
think there was only one. There might be more than one on the Titan.
Well, if there was, it would have been stopped. Because all it would take was 2 changelings to to come at shore, and they would have been fine. Oh man.
Right?
Actually, you know what? I do think we're probably going to get a scene in the next episode where the changeling body is in sickbay and the 2 doctors are looking at it and they're going to say this changeling is wrong based on its biology. It's corrupted. Its biology is breaking down on a subatomic level.
Yep.
It can't hold shape as long, a la the other guy we saw. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe it is literally as simple as the original changelings that were sent out into the galaxy were genetically modified to exist outside the Great Link. Maybe if you actually come from the Great Link, the longer you are away, the more degraded you are, and they can't work out a way of fixing that because they're one species, they're one creature in essence, right? So it is as simple as that. By going rogue, they're all dying slowly, and they're trying to obviously keep that going, and it's affecting everything else they're doing. So they can't keep their shape as long. They're just a whole load less powerful.
I would love that. I think that's going to be the case because it didn't disintegrate. I think that we'll be studying it next week and we'll get the explanation as to why it's different.
So that's just simple and effective.
NZ Fade asks why the changeling picked LaForge out of everyone on the ship, because the changeling knew that she was the son or the daughter of LaForge, one of the greatest engineers. That's why she went down and said that to Shaw. Hey, I'm a LaForge. My dad's Geordi LaForge, a great engineer. I can help you with this. That's why. He was obviously on ship long enough to at least read the files or know about them well enough that he could do that. And could the change in appearance be because of them being infected by Section 31? Maybe they no longer look quite the same because of their time being infected, like a side effect. Yes, absolutely, that could be the case. And they had to come to some kind of compromise as well. They left the Great Link. They might have been infected still, so they have to team up with other shapeshifters or comaloids of some kind. Who knows? Who's to say? We haven't seen them turn into like a cargo container or anything. They've only been turning into organic things. Like they're not using their ability to hide by choosing an inorganic object, or like I said, lashing out with a tentacle to attack somebody, which they have done in the past. So maybe they don't have that ability. Maybe they can literally only go from one biological shape to another.
Because the entire way they've been presented, which is, hey, don't hurt me, then I'll run at you, pew pew. Well, if they could actually change properly, that attacking the corridor would be an entire different scene, as would Worf chasing and changing in the
Yes.
that they would just change. It'd be easy.
And you got to think too, when it turns into the blob and it looks like that gross meat thing, can you really see that turning into a table? With the gold shimmeriness of the original changelings, it could be like turn stuff into any surface. But this one seems like it can only do something organic. Now, we haven't seen a lot of what they can do to make that supposition, really. But it does look very organic, and even in its liquid state. So maybe that is a hint that it can only do something organic. I don't know. Mirror universe changelings, cool idea. Why does everybody want to keep bringing the mirror universe into this? Let's see. New changelings are made of pizza. Prove me wrong. Ooh. Have the Borg assimilated the Dominion? I somehow doubt that.
The Borg are on the back foot. The Dominion, because we've got to think the Dominion because when the wormhole got screwy, it's not as if the Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant got stopped. It was the Alpha Quadrant that got stopped, and then they forced a treaty with the, you know what I mean? Like the ships, they weren't getting ships from the Gamma Quadrant, so they still have plenty of armada back there.
Tony, I don't know. That's a good question. Can one changeling morph into a goo pot for another changeling, each taking turns for one another? No need to carry solid mass around.
I mean, I'd assume so, but also
I would assume so too.
But also, I would probably assume that you could argue that while they're technically solid, there's something in their energy levels which sort of make each changing feel like they're connected. But also, you would think that if one changing was, they're sort of designed, evolved to be one giant goo puddle. So to hold a solid form while touching another probably goes against your biological imperative to connect. And so maybe you could train yourself to do that, but it's like everything about you says become one, connect, would be my assumption.
Yep, that's a very good point.
But also you could just
the urge.
But also you could just replicate a box. I'm saying in most situations, just make a box. I mean, it is that easy, etc.
Yeah. That's like saying a battery can charge another battery, diminishing returns. Maybe. I mean, that's a weird one. It's a weird question, but an interesting one nonetheless. 160 of you guys here right now, which is amazing, and only 112 likes. So I think we can do better than that. Let's try to get up to 130 likes. Another 18. Can we do it? I think we can. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. Don't forget to go vote on the poll. We have 175 votes currently. But is the big bad a changing or something else? Go vote. Should be closing that poll out soon.
We should. Actually. I mean, that's good. I think that's interesting. Because that's the thing, is there anything to say, given that the changeling face was so distorted, it kind of almost feels like it was the future guy sort of communication where he's talking at a changeling who's relaying that to somebody. Because otherwise it would just turn to a face.
That's why I think it's part of him. It's a part of a small part of a bigger whole. Like that's what, because it looked like it was trying to form and it kept like melting off, kind of. Looked like blood and stuff melting off of a skull. Like it couldn't quite form because there wasn't enough of it there. It's just kind of how it felt. It was.
I kind of got the sense it was a giant. You hate looking at me. Look at me. I'm not a this is not a face you want to look at. But yes, I think a new poll is in order. So we asked you: is Big Bad a changeling or something else? A strong 65% of you think not a changeling, with almost 180 votes. Interesting.
Thanks for participating in the poll, guys. We'll have another one in a second, so go vote on that when it becomes available. But yeah, like I said, hit that like button. We're almost at that 130. We only need 7 more. I think that's very doable. And yeah, let's keep the conversation going, shall we? Yes, Ozzy, it is time for a new poll. You know whether the female changing said a drop becomes an ocean becomes a drop. Yes, absolutely. Good tea, nice house. Throws in 550 Canadian. Thank you. Vadic is not a changeling. She's a Vadian being held together by changeling intervention. Jack has the cure. That's my wild theory. Wow, that's a fantastic theory. And so Terry Matalas, he did say she is a changeling, but again, they've been known to kind of deceive us once in a while. But in that case, he would be kind of right. I like the Vadian being held together by a changeling. Oh my god, that's so gross.
I was about to say, it sounds gross, yeah.
But it's a good idea. Huh. Here's a wild theory. Stuart says it reminded me of some sort of demon. Yes, it had a very demonic appearance to it for sure. Or like, other aliens for sure. Like I said, the Independence Day aliens, it's kind of like them. Oh, we got a new poll. Let's check out this new poll and see what it's about. Is the real plan actually to do with Jack or something else? 100% Jack, some of Jack, some of something new, or it's not Jack, but something he has. That is a great poll. Classics for Real says they've also done a side-by-side comparison of the credit sequence. It seems to be sped up. Not sure. I've watched them and I haven't noticed any differences. I assume things would be added maybe or whatever, but nothing's been changing. So
yeah, and also it's also not a title sequence. It stayed the credits.
yeah.
It's the first round of credits. It's like often in Marvel films you have a very sexy, clever first batch and then the actual credits. To it, the last set, the actual black and white credits, they zipped. I mean, they had less than a second for each frame. It was astounding.
Those people are important.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yes, the real plan that leads into the visions, which we now have 2 instances of, and because it ended an episode, the end of the first arc, that tells it's important, with voices. To it, I know that one character was spoiled because of subtitles. I did not hear that spoiled. However, I did listen. I thought I could tell who it was, but I don't know. Because it has to be somebody we know. Therefore, for it to be a spoiler, etc. Do you want to hear how I think it was?
Yes, please.
I thought it was Lore saying it, or Brent Spine, I should say. One of the saying, "Come find me." Because there was a male that was. I mean, they're trying to distort it on purpose. I was like, it could be Lore. It could be a Brent Spiner.
Or one of the many soons.
Or maybe one of the soons. If it was a Lore or a Sun grabbing him, that'd link him directly to the Daystrom stuff.
It would, because it ties in also with the episode Brothers, where Data had just a sense to go steal a ship, get to the place immediately. What is his voice saying? Find me. Mm-hmm. It's like beckoning. I have the answers you seek, kind of thing. I think the other thing that said in the other episode was connect the branches or something. We've seen a red door. We've seen like a red explosion type deal. And then those red branches, of course, which, as you pointed out, look very Stranger Things. Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
The Upside Down.
Door, tree, and smoke. It feels like it's a door to somewhere else. I'm assuming it's door to locked memories. That would be the play I would do. Something simple, because memories can manifest in different ways in your brain. So if he dealt with Lore or somebody of the ilk, and the memories are sort of so strong, so visceral, there's a sense of not necessarily sleep rage and just saying you need to do something else, time's running out, then they might manifest in the brain saying do this, do this, do this,
Yeah. Arver says the big boss bad guy should be the Black Goo Changeling that killed Tashiar. It would be a good 360.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, Armus. People have suggested that already, and no, I think that's kind of silly. Armus made an appearance in Lower Decks. Curse you. So I think it's the prophets talking to him like they did through Cisco.
Although, would you actually want Armus to be a retcon that he's a changeling variant?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
He's one of the children that was flung away years ago.
Yep, and got infected with hate and everything vile. Huh. Yeah. Kind of neat, actually. He kind of looks like it. So, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. New race or existing race crossed with another. Yeah, no problem. Thinking out loud is what we like to do here. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. So that's why we want you guys to super chat in and let us know what you're thinking. We can have conversations based on it. Me No Other says, I hope Geordi erases Lore's brain and uploads his copy of Data's brain into Lore's body. Well, in one of the trailers, we did see the plug-in thing at the back of Lore's head while he's sitting in a chair, which we saw when they transferred Data, or tried to transfer Data into B4. So my guess, my feeling, my hope is that they do actually upload all the Data's stuff to Lore. And during the course of the episodes that he's in, you see a little bit of more and more of Data pushing through. and eventually they come to a compromise as brothers, or I don't really want Data to push Lore out and kill Lore. Essentially, that get kind of silly, but that'd be great to see. Just kind of bringing Data back in that form.
Yeah, it's an organic way to do it. Creates conflict, especially if maybe the Daystrom lab is there to try and actually bring Data back specifically. Maybe it was an abandoned project. The way we see that in the trailer is somewhat turned off. Maybe at a certain point the idea was, well, we can't make B4 Data. We've been given the approval by an admiral to overwrite Lore. Sad, but whatever. And then maybe Lore is just such a powerful entity within inside the conscious that even though they updated the information into his brain, and because it failed, they turned off the entire program, and then Riker needs Lore because they need an android. But then the Data, once they start dealing with, say, maybe the secret source was dealing with his crew. Once you deal with his best friends for the last 30 years or whatever, then the Data engrams start to take hold. And then you get Lore, played by Brent, being Lore, but then the occasional Dataism slips in, and then there's that reason for it. And then they end up becoming a gestalt entity by the end. He's either Data or Lore, he's something new, and then Brent gets to play an old android who's not either. But he gets to play either in the series, or both in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot to explain, though, in 5 episodes. Because Riker's still on the Titan in the next one, so he's not at Daystrom yet. So
I think the Moriarty thing is going to be it is a red herring. It's like a very quick cameo of like scrolling through computer programs, and Moriarty shows up. Makes a little jab, and they're like, just keep scrolling.
Or he senses that the people he wished he could have killed years ago have come back. Well, I'm taking over. Yeah.
Vision. Says, remember those skulls in the Confederation timeline, Picard's office? There was this one chieftain, Matalas of the Lindsay species. Kind of looks like the changeling on Vadic's hand. Oh. Yeah, there was that funky skull, wasn't there?
I didn't know it was named Matalas. We don't know Terry's name fully yet, so that's kind of funny. Didn't pick up on that.
And we've had Matalas 5 and Matalas 4 mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very Matalas heavy episodes.
Oh, it depends how complicated they get. As I said previously, do you think they've done a simple amount of story in the first 4, relatively, to focus on characters? But now we've set them up, we can have a real dump of story in the next couple. Are we going to start pushing boundaries and developing quickly, or are we going to keep in the same slow pace? So if the next 4 are equally slow, then is that only going to be 2 that are big?
I don't think we're going to have a slow pace, no.
Because looking back, it was a slow pace. Now I'm thinking about the 4. Yeah. But it was characterful. That's what you wanted. You'd rather have action, you'd rather character than action. But
NZ Fade says Moriarty left on his own ship, didn't he? It was his own being. No. That's what they made him think. He was actually still trapped within a computer program, or a holodeck program, which they upgraded him, loaded the program into this little cube that had like a galaxy's worth of adventures in there. So it was his own galaxy inside of a hollow cube. He was still stuck in a holodeck, essentially.
The only way to trick him was to make him think he won.
Yes.
Give him what he wanted. Him and the Countess. Because there's no way to turn a hollow into a real. Sorry. I'm sorry. But guys, we're just over half the live and half our minimum, so put in some howdy-doos, vote in the poll, click like, and keep putting in interesting ideas. And yes, poor Moriarty. Because I'm just... Do we even have enough... Because, you know, if you're doing a multi-episode storyline, do you even have enough pieces of the puzzle to even guess by a point like this? You know?
Well... That's the thing, right? Sam, I sent you something just so you can show it. Maybe we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Do I want? Like, I have no idea where the last half of this story is going to go. Kind of get an idea where the middle is going to go. We're going to meet up with Worf and Raffi. We're going to get Geordi involved. We're going to maybe see some of the Starfleet Museum. But the last part of the show, I don't know what that is going to entail. Like, I've got no clues, no evidence as to what that could be. Most of the action beats we've seen in the trailers have already been shown in these last couple episodes. So, yeah, I'm at a loss. Stern Von Ulk, Captain Foley, when you receive the final cutaway of the refit Foley class from Rusted Gear, will you do an episode about it with work in progress pics? Yes, at some point, probably, yes. Still quite a ways away, though, so. Geordi would keep a copy of Data's brain and maybe hang out with him in the holodeck at his museum post. Geordi could be mad that he wasn't there when Data died in season 1. I think the reason Geordi looks so pissed in the trailer is because literally Riker and Picard put his daughter's life in jeopardy. The whole thing that happened, so. Moriarty and his synth body. There you go. That'd be a good way to give Moriarty what he wanted. Just give him a Sith body. A synth body.
I hear the pointed horns of a Sith are really good for your complexion.
Yes.
You did say Sith, so.
I did, then I corrected it to synth.
I re-corrected you back to Sith. Yes, I'm going to make a quick graphic for this. Give me a moment.
Yes. Meanwhile, Moriarty was trapped in a cube and left in control of Barclay. In the control of Barclay, who ended up working at Hologram Institute at Jupiter Station, according to Voyager. Yep.
Or it crashed on the Enterprise D, because he forgot to take it with him.
Yeah, it could have been on the D. Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly, it's an either sort of situation. Because I mean, you've got to wonder how many assignments do they have, honestly. So we can't judge them for not doing or bringing everything, especially if you might imagine that Barclay. This is hell off topic, but you know, Barclay might have had LaForge say, "No, I'd rather stay aboard for our next 7 years of this mission, so we can keep looking at them." Otherwise, they're going to crash later that year. You know.
Yeah. Or it could be that he did go to the Jupiter, whatever, and then got transferred to Daystrom and kind of put in, like at the end of Indiana Jones. That big warehouse full of just things. And that's what this Daystrom station is, essentially.
And then maybe Barclay took him back with him to the E, and then when the Borg affected the E, they got Moriarty. And then the Queen sent the Moriarty back when... See, that's what the interplexing beacon in the first contact, that was Moriarty that the Queen was sending into the Delta Quadrant, so that then Moriarty ended up in the Delta Quadrant, who then evolved as part of the Borg hierarchy and became another third separate Borg identity.
Damn.
Look, I think we worked it out, okay? Sometimes there's just a right answer.
Damn.
I think we've got it. Yep.
There you go. Michael Roser says, surprised you guys haven't talked about the new ship in the next episode. Dave Blash just released a pic of it. Yep.
We're surprised too. Shouldn't always talk about everything.
Anyhow, maybe it wasn't Moriarty that was trapped in the holodeck. It was the actual crew of the Enterprise in the holodeck, and they've been living in the holodeck for their whole life. Oh no, we're all in a simulation.
Is that when you say, what a twist?
What a twist.
But speaking of twists, there's the graphics, Stuart. Talk about them. Now they're in front of you. Thoughts and feelings.
Well, this is what Cosmo was talking about. He was kind enough to send me the pictures, and yeah, wow. And look at the name on the plaque. It does say Matalas. I did not put that together after seeing these in season 2 because I didn't know who the hell Terry Matalas was at the time. So, anyhow, yeah, very similar in design for sure. There you go, guys. What do you think of that? Comment in the chat and give us your theory. You think these two are connected? And what does the plaque actually say? It says, Ween Z, Chieftain Matalas. I don't know if it's a chieftain from the planet Matalas, one of the Matalas planets. But,
I mean, it's definitely really freaking close.
It is very, very close, isn't it?
I mean, it's very, very tricky to know what to think here, because if Terry... Because Terry was brought on to help with season 2.
Yes.
and then he was then offered season 3 as a solo show run versus co-show run. He then
noped out of season 2 and like,
yeah,
bye guys.
He entirely dropped season 2 to work on season 3, but therefore he didn't know he had a season 3 until he knew, and by that point, including an alien that he was going to call forward to for a season he hadn't written yet seems unlikely. But he was involved in these 2 episodes, and he would have probably had approval on these aliens, at least a little bit, because they're quite, seeing the inside of a Cardassian's head is quite a thing to approve. I mean, I think it's a bit too humanoid for it. The jaw would be much bigger, I feel like.
Yes, a few things look a little off.
I mean, a lot of things.
But on first glance, it's like, oh yeah, those are very much the same. The more you look, the more you realize they're different. But
yeah, it was a humanoid version almost.
Yeah.
It's not a changeling face. It's not a conventional face. It's a CG face.
NZ Fate says, "What's that skull?" That is one of the ones that was in General Picard's office in the Confederation timeline.
It's the only one that we didn't know what it was because it was actually new.
Yeah, and they never really showed it on screen either.
No. Which would then be why, if it links to this, boy, if they're planning, real planning, you'd be like, well, damn, it was under our nose the entire time.
And in the Confederation timeline, Picard took it out before it became a threat.
Yeah.
In the timeline, he didn't get a chance to do so.
I mean, that's super true.
Yeah.
Boy, if he recognises it, he'll be like, oi, the enemy killed that thing, and now he's destroyed the universe. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Bad days.
Fleet Paw says, would it be wrong to assume Terry is a vain person? Yes, we see a planet named after him. The planet was named after him when he was working on Enterprise. There was a Matalas
4.
Talked about in Matalas 4 talked about in the episode with Trip and the Alien. Basically, Enemy Mine, the movie made into an Enterprise episode. Yeah. So.
And that was named for him being a 20-something-year-old by the writers. So he had no part of that whatsoever. So no, that's not him at all. And this alien, it's not. There's no. If there was a close-up of it, maybe, but there isn't. So it's more as if Dave Blaster said, "Let's make this something fun." Haha. I mean, are you really vain when you have 3 lines of dialogue in a show where they say Matalas Prime is a shitty place? I don't think that Sharon really wants their planet to be a shithole, but that's what they've done. So I think vain's the wrong word for Terry. For sure.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, they're close, but I don't think they're the same necessarily. So, but yeah, good call out, Cosmo. Thank you for sending that. It's something I never would have put together. So thank you for.
It's a wonderful accident. If it's an accident.
Yeah. And if it's deliberate, well, there.
Hey.
Oh, more power to them.
Oh, I just don't even know if we know enough to know the big reveal and the plan.
We don't, and that's both sad and good at the same time.
Because whatever the real plan is, a weapon that can bomb planets and that weapon was cool. It's also meaningless.
Yeah.
That shows you whatever they're doing is so far beyond that. Now, yes, if you're the Dominion, the original Dominion, you've got a battleship with enough weapons to just tear down a planet. So why would you want anything like that weapon? But the Dominion, the Changelings, do small things. They don't. Their forces do big things. But if this is a Changeling subsect, they aren't the Dominion. They aren't these big thousands of forces. So I feel like anything they're doing should be small. And I imagine that because, obviously, Terry's been here as well as long as we have in terms of watching the new Treks, a common issue with the fandom is that there's been too many universe-ending WMDs or giant calamities. Some people complained, and we said that at the first episode, no, the weapon isn't a giant WMD, it's actually quite small. The fact they got jettisoned without a second thought shows how minimal it really is, even into the story or the universe. So I don't think they're going to have a giant world-ending weapon because it goes against the close nature of this universe. So what they're really after Is it to get back to the Great Link? Is it to destroy the wormhole? Is it, is it so personal as revenge? It's because also Vadic, at a certain point, well literally Khan from Athakhan said yes, I will sacrifice a ship probably to kill Kirk. Vadic said no, I will not. I will keep the ship fine. So Jack is not worth potential suicide for Vadic. That's worth noting. So the revenge plot doesn't really come into place now.
Yeah. Jack is apparently the linchpin, and I just cannot figure out why or how. And I was really thrown off by the ending of the last episode. It really had me hooked, because it's like you're seeing these visions. What is going on with that? Before, when he got hit by the gas and was on the floor and saw Seven, I was like, okay, whatever. Could be picking up something from the Changeling nearby or whatever. But now it's kind of linked to him, and I don't know. I'm intrigued. And I love that, because I love being hooked for something. I mean, after we've seen it all and it's all revealed, we'll be like, yeah, it was obvious from the beginning. We should have known that. But they're actually doing a really good job of crafting a good story. So, and it keeps me wanting to come back. So, not that I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's because the small stuff is so big that they can have tiny amounts of big stuff. Tony, okay, serious one here. Why are we ignoring Vadic's Roman knife? Or I mean her Jafar knife?
Oh, her Klingon knife.
Her Buffy knife.
The knife I can go into the knife store in town here and buy out of the case, because there's like 3 different kinds. Yeah.
It's an off-the-shelf found piece that is in many places. It's I mean, it might be something. I'm more focused on her hand goo versus the weapon that she does it with.
Yes, because it's going to mean nothing. That knife is nothing. It's just cool knife to had.
Yeah, it's well, that's a Riemann knife. Cool. She got a Riemann knife at some point. I mean, Riemann's fought in the Dominion War on the side of the Dominion. Yeah, it feels like a non-rocket size. Now, if there was a shot in the episode where she's like twindling it, or she throws it at a wall, or like stabs it on her console, like if there was a real hero moment with it, fine.
Yeah.
But it was a thing she had.
You're never going to see it again. It doesn't mean anything.
It's the art department saying, right, we need a knife. What knife should we do? And someone says, what about the one from Nemesis? Oh, can we get that? Yeah, down the road, $39.99. What? Yeah. And they bought it. They bought it set. It's like, oh, it's.
Or Terry's like, you need a knife? I got one on my desk.
Yeah.
It just seems like something you might have.
Yeah.
Here, use mine. I want it in the shot, in the scene.
Or even simpler, it was in the archive still. They said the phase rifles from the other season. I mean, again, we say it all the time. You don't need to invent everything new. Use the canon. It's a knife we know. Bush, bush, bush. There we go. Yeah, it's like Jack Crusher. He could use any phaser under the sun. They happen to have made him a weird, fun hybrid that's new, yet the same, yet different, yet the same. It's great.
We've done episodes about it. Check it out.
If only they made props.
Yeah. Need an episode long deep dive on Jack, or at least half an episode. Give us a few more clues. That would help, absolutely. More DS9 stuff would be amazing. Well, Terry did say this is a TNG Voyager DS9 kind of show, so, and we know that there are other surprise cameos coming, so just be patient, and we'll see what happens in that regard. Did he say Riemann's fought on the side of the Dominion? Nemesis said they were cannon fodder for the Romulans.
I know, it's Shinzon fought in the Dominion War.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so Shinzon fought with the Romulans against the Dominion, but equally they could have boarded and got a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he ends up being a changeling, I don't want the real Jack to be dead. Oh, the real Jack won't be dead. Even if he's not the real Jack will be fine. We'll just have to rescue him. They're not going to kill Jack before we know Jack. Because we don't know Jack about this story. Get it? Get it?
Yes, I get it.
Stop now. Stop now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure in the universe it is called the Matalas blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we get 4 more likes? Get the 150,
Oh.
guys.
Yes. I think we have some good ideas here.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you to people that contribute, like Cosmo, for sending those pictures to us and stuff. Because that was a great little link. They looked a little bit different, of course, but some people are saying they look nothing alike, but they do look very similar. But you got to think a baby doesn't look like an old man, so it could just be a different aged alien as well. But we like talking about that kind of stuff, so thank you for joining us for that, guys, and contributing. If it was a changeling, he wouldn't remember being in the bar. Unless the new changelings have memories of their people they're impersonating. That's the caveat there.
That was part of our first half an hour.
Yep.
Are we even going to see Vadic back next week?
No, but we are going to see a ad.
Okay.
I think we'll see Vadic at the end of the next episode. Like, possibly. Or the following episode. She's not going to be there from the beginning.
Yeah, because I could imagine, actually, that next week's episode 5, if we end the episode with the Intrepid and the Titan having a battle, a problem, leave the Titan damaged, Vadic shows up at the end, and she kidnaps Jack and Riker, and leaves, leading to now Picard has lost. He's got even more reason to find Vadic, and his ship is damaged. He's a new ship, awesome repairs, and who does he trust to repair a ship quickly? It's Geordi LaForge. He might not have been engineering for a while, but he knows that LaForge is at the museum, and the museum would have engineers that fix all sorts of ships. And he goes there, and it's a space dock looking thing, so if they dock into the space dock, and he's like, Geordi, please, you have engineers that can help fix it, and then they do a Voyager style next week reset, whole ship gets fixed in a day, and Joyce doesn't come with you. And then that's why Riker's on Vadic's ship, Jack is part of the plot continued, but maybe once Vadic shows up, Riker does a thing, because he knows history, he adds a beryllium slip to his own uniform, just in the inside, so it won't be seen by people.
Yeah.
Because they love their references. I could think that would be quite a logical way. Riker's got something on him that's very trackable. Reference that movie. Because he knows, once Vadic beams board, well, if anything, just give it to Jack. Give Jack a thing that can be tracked through subspace, because obviously they're going to get him,
Yeah, next episode I think is going to focus primarily on Worf and Raffi getting to Daystrom Station, and I don't know how it's going to tie into Picard and them running into them though.
I think they're going to string that along longer than we think.
Oh, I hope not. We only have 5 episodes left.
Yep, but we said more things happen than the first 4.
6 episodes.
So we've got to lower expectations a little bit when it comes to the amount of things happening. I think Worf and Raffi will stay on the the entire time. Maybe just at warp. Just cut to the warp and they're traveling, and then eventually they'll get there.
I have seen a scene of them sparring, so kind of killing time that way. This isn't an Oprah show. You are a changeling, you're a changeling, and you're a changeling. Right?
I'm still hoping there's a scene later on where there's like 6 Jacks or 3 Picards, and there's just a giant scene of changelings, because, who's the real him? And that's a twist that then 7/7 says, because she can't be changelinged because they can't replicate the Borg implants. There might be a thing.
I would love to see 9 7 of 9s, and her line is, I'm 7 of 9. Step out from the crowd. I don't know.
But I can imagine that might be a fun plot twist, that she's the only one that can't be copied, because they can't copy the mechanicalness enough closely. It's too. Because when have they ever become metal? Like, because they've become like fake things, but like fake box, but it's a hollow box. But maybe the intricacy of that is too much for them to kind of get away with. I don't know, maybe. So that'd be kind of fun if Seven, who was told by Shaw, are going to set up early on, because we haven't done that necessarily yet. They don't have our full memories. That hasn't necessarily been fully paid off. So maybe there'll be a scene where there's 3 Picards, and Seven's the only trustworthy person, and she has to ask them. But then it turns out, as you keep saying, they're changelings with knowledge, and it's like these are the next gen people. It'd be a fun double payoff.
It would be. Amina has a good point. Bashir cameo next episode. Who else you going to call in to heal an injured changeling? I mean, you're not wrong there. He did help out Odo multiple times. He is a genius. I would love to see Bashir back. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we've had a new character each week. Not last week, but we've had enough of the old ones. Yeah. Any of them. We always say any and all of them.
Eric Martin throws in 550. Why is everybody throwing in 550 Canadian today? That's weird. Why did the Changeling try to interfere with Shaw and Seven at the end? If the Titan didn't escape, they'd lose Jack. It's a good question. The Changeling did say, just because one of the cell covers is open, we can escape, but not go to war. That's correct. Why do you ask? That's when it's a phaser pointed at her head. So maybe it was trying to help to save Jack, just not have them get away where they could actually engage war. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Final thoughts, guys. That's only last minute quick fire if you'd like.
My brain has turned to organic goo, very similar to what the changelings are at this point.
Well, we had some really strong ideas in the first chunk. That's what we do. That's the problem with thinking very intensely for a bit. Or
yeah, that's why we love your guys' help and input. Anyway, let's close out this poll. Is the real plan actually to do with Jack or something else? So the winner is some of Jack, some of something else at 55%. Second place is it's not Jack, but something else or something he has at 29%. And 16% of you think it's 100% Jack.
And NZ Fade says, why did Jack say wait 5 seconds with the asteroid? No payoff. What was that point? Because, there's trajectory. 5 seconds later, and the move would work.
I think they went down below it. But yeah.
Whichever. It's that's super obvious. It's just, if it moved and Picard said they'd just smash into the asteroid, they waited 5 seconds, they didn't. It was an instant payoff. What do you mean? It shows that Jack...
4 seconds.
Yeah,
I didn't think there was a payoff either. He's like, 4 seconds, trust me. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it shows that Jack has a sense of the stuff, and that Picard trusts him already enough to undo his own personal guess. I mean, Jack's also looking at the data.
I thought it was going to be the same kind of reveal as in Booby Trap, though, where Picard starts heading towards the big asteroid. And they're like, what are you doing? And he uses the gravity of it to pull him in and then slingshot around it. There's going to be something like that, but the visual payoff wasn't that great for what that was.
But it's still, for me, pretty clear. It's just he just helped them not get smashed.
Trickle Power throws in $5. Need to connect the dots with Picard, Jack, and the Changeling flashback, where Picard was infected with the Changeling DNA or something that went to Jack.
I mean, that's a heavy, bold retcon. So at some time in the Dominion War, he was given Changeling DNA, which aren't really DNA themselves; they're just sort of goo.
Maybe it was when he just after he fought the Alpha, the Rojan.
Or before he went to the maybe before the Riemann strike teams that attacked him in Beverly.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5. Odo was able to shapeshift his comm badge tech, so it could be reasoned that Seven can be imitated by a Changeling, and they could do the Borg tech too.
But it wasn't. But he didn't have a working comm badge. That was a real comm badge. He couldn't make a real comm badge. That was a real comm badge.
So many times he morphed though, and when he morphed, he had the uniform and the comm badge on. So that's a weird one.
I guess he just wore a fake comm badge when he was doing missions.
Or he had a real one, and then when he morphed, he took it into like a little pocket inside of himself or whatever.
I mean, they're pretty thin.
Yeah, I would buy that 100%.
Yeah.
And then when he forms itself, he just pops it back out. It's supposed to be.
I don't think he could make a comm badge. That's really intricate. Because that means that his body... Because if he can make a comm badge, then his body is sending out subspace signals. Then you start saying, well, could he be a phaser? Why do you have to have a phaser? Like, that's not too far from a comm badge.
Just turn his hand into a cannon.
Yep.
Any other Red Door references in Star Trek canon? I mean, there's the Red Angel. Oh, don't hit me.
The best invention ever. I mean, Stuart, if they did get a Red Angel suit, Stuart, they'd have unlimited computational power, unlimited data storage. I mean, so maybe Lore needs a Red Angel suit because there's unlimited data storage, and it can take a copy of the entire Federation holo network.
Yeah.
Remember, unlimited, Stuart. Never made that again, did they?
Nope. FIFA says his father, Mora, asked him if it was part of him or a real one, in order if I was part of him. Huh. Well, there you go.
Doesn't really make sense.
No, that I'd have to look into. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, personally.
Unless you're saying Bajoran comm badges are insanely simple, like ham radios.
Well, the Bajorans are. So,
yeah, that's the caveat. But once you start making anything complicated, then you can make lots of things complicated, because everything is just matter.
Ooh. Eric makes a good point. Jack would be the only remaining source of Picard's DNA now that his body is a synth. Mm-hmm. Or his body. Could dig a body, but yeah.
Well, no, he was eaten by wolves, Stuart, because they put it above her.
They probably did.
That's true.
That's a very good point, Eric, actually.
But you would certainly assume that they would still want Picard in that conundrum just to have him. Don't turn your nose on the fake real Picard is here. Screw him. We'll get the real Picard son. It's like, but also Picard's there.
It's a good twist for the audience, though.
Yeah.
Oh, they're obviously not after Picard. They want his son. Why? But yeah, if it is to get Picard's DNA, considering he's got a synth body now, I like that actually. That's a good one, Eric. Good call out there. Oh, wireless, yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
This is fun and all, but I'm running out of steam pretty quick. Thank you to everybody that contributed, both super chat and just thought wise. We really appreciate that. If you're watching this now or after the fact, hit that like button. If you haven't done so, let's get those likes up. And if you're watching this after the fact as well, hit that super thanks button to send us a thank you for the conversation and the hangout time with you guys. So we love doing it. Yeah, help us out if you can. We appreciate it.
And go back and watch our 12-minute episode today on the discussion, are the Changeling new ones a subspecies, with graphics. As we did all a look at the Nemesis phaser brought back yesterday, and other videos, etc. all week, guys. There's so many. Go look, go have fun, enjoy. And like I said, Dave is joining us on Wednesday, so jump in for that and say hi. He'll have very interesting thoughts. Now, luckily, he doesn't, I guess, do video conferencing, so he can't give away with micro expressions what if you got stuff right or not. So probably good for them.
Yeah. So join us for that, and we'll see you guys later. So until next time, he is some dude named Sam.
He is Mr. Foley.
That's right. We haven't been replaced by changelings at all.
No proof. No proof.
Nope.
Nope.
Not even. Nope.